I have talked a lot about the Digimon in Digimon, go figure, but I thought it was about time that I started touching on the human element of Digimon, equally just as important as all the wonderful creatures. And throughout the Digimon franchise we see a ton of humans who get their own Digimon partners, and yet throughout a ton of the Digimon media there are very notable human characters who don't have Digimon partners. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about those humans and which partners I think they should have. What is up everybody, thank you for watching another video, and I heard that the Great Lord Subscribadon is telling you to subscribe.
Yes, I am the Great Lord Subscribadon. Do the subscribe, please.
Wow, Lord Subscribadon himself.
Great Lord Subscribadon.
Sorry, Great Lord Subscribadon said you should subscribe, so I don't think you want to go against the Great Lord, do you? But let's get into it. So yes, there are a lot of humans that do have Digimon partners, but the one that don't always feel like a little bit of an oversight. Now, there are certain conditions where, for example in Digimon Adventure 02, there are a lot of human characters that don't have partners, but it is implied by the ending and the epilogue that eventually everyone gets a Digimon partner. So I haven't really included anything from Digimon Adventure 02, but there is someone from Digimon Adventure on the list who may have ended up with a Digimon partner, but we never saw it. I do also want to say that in an audio drama, Davis's sisters, Yoli's sisters, and Joe's brother are all confirmed to get Digimon partners, thanks to my Digidestined Andrew for pointing this out. So while I want to include them on the list, they do technically in official media get confirmed as having Digimon partners, so that's more of an honourable mention. Alright, enough waffle, let's start with the first one. And you know when I said humans? I almost didn't include this on the list, but I want to talk about Geneye. Now, Geneye is not a human, and he's not exactly a Digimon either. His exact origin has been slightly explained, but never fully fleshed out. And I do love the ambiguity of Geneye. Now, as with everyone on this list, I am not saying that him getting a Digimon partner would have made the show better. This is just for fun.
For fun!
I just think it would be neat. I don't even know what Digimon I'd want him to have. Something like a Zulongmon, one of the 4 legendary Digimon, maybe pull in one of the Digimon that are used as Devas in Tamers or something holy, maybe like Kalumon or something. But I know some of you may be saying, well, if he's not technically human or Digimon, why would he have a Digimon partner? And that's totally valid. So let's go the frontier route with it. Rather than him having a Digimon partner, why not make him become a Digimon? Geneymon! As much as I love the fact that Geneye is an advisor and a helper and even does get his hands dirty at times, I do like that he is kind of separate from the kids and their partners, but I think there would still be a really cool, like, very anime moment where all the kids are defeated and a monster's about to bear down on them, and then just Geneye catches the fist or Geneye's Digimon, and whether it's Geneye's Digimon or Geneye's Digimon form, just goes toe to toe for one battle and is like, I'm not supposed to do this. Be a very cool anime moment. Alright, next up is Kai, who is Takato's cousin from the Digimon Tamers movie, Battle of Adventurers. Kai, I think, is one of those cool tropes that I like in TV shows where it turns out someone has a really cool cousin or sibling in the country.
Country Mac! Hey, City Mac!
And Kai is no exception here. While he never gets a Digimon of his own in this movie, and it makes sense that he doesn't, he does help the Tamers out quite a lot and is seen fairly often with Kalumon, especially towards the end. So I think it actually would have been really cool, maybe not in this movie, but when he appears right at the very end of Tamers, maybe he could have stepped in and become one of the children who became a Digidestined, partnering with Kalumon. Like I said in a lot of videos, I always think Kalumon could potentially have gone further. And again, while I don't think Kai becoming Kalumon's partner would have fixed Tamers or made it better or anything like that, I still think it would have been pretty cool. They set up this interesting other kid who kind of understands the thing that Takato is going through and is roughly his same age, but then he never really factors in much more than a cameo towards the end of Tamers. So yeah, Kai is an awesome character in Battle of Adventurers. I really like that movie in general, and so I would have liked to have seen him had more of a prominence in the rest of the season, but oh well. Que sera, sera. Next up is a suggestion by Digidestined Tippy, and that is that Sam, Ken's brother from Digimon Adventure 02, should have had his own Digimon. Now, spoilers for Digimon Adventure 02, the show is 20 years old at this point. Sam do be dead though. But he was the first one to get his hands on a Digivice out of the 2 Ichijoji brothers. Admittedly, that Digivice was never actually intended for him, it is supposed to be Ken's Digivice, but I still wonder what could have been. Maybe Sam initially teaming up with Wormmon. Hell, maybe you could have had a different insect Digimon to kind of parallel his brother. He could have partnered with a Kunemon, or maybe one of my favorites, Fanbeemon. I think Sam with a Fanbeemon would be really cool, because I think it would have been a really touching moment, and I don't think there would have been time for it, unfortunately, but it would have been really touching if Ken had dreamed Sam to life. I think that dream realm at the end presents a lot of possibilities they didn't explore, and it would genuinely be a tearjerker to have Ken have that one last day with Sam, one last adventure together as brothers, knowing that it wasn't real, but at least giving him that closure he's always looked for, and one really cool moment of the Ichijoji brothers teaming up. Alright, this one is just because I think he's cool, and that is Kyotaro Yamada from Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kizana. He is the secret agent who I won't spoil the plot of, so I don't have to timestamp this, but he is a really cool character, and I like that he can be a little bit abrasive, but is also straight to the point, and doesn't talk down to people. And again, while I don't think the movie would have been made better by it happening, I still think it would have been cool if he'd have gotten a Digimon partner. I see him obviously with a Commandramon. There's a very funny scene to me involving him and a gun, so I think it would be natural if he had a Commandramon. Plus, someone just needs Commandramon as a partner. Honestly, I could do a part 2 of Digimon that deserve partners, because Commandramon really would fit. Not for a pro tag, but for like an agent or a policeman or something like that. So yes, let's give Commandramon to Kyotaro, and one day I'll do a video all about Last Evolution Kizana when I can stop crying thinking about that movie. And then jumping all the way back to Digimon Adventure, someone who is often called the 6th Ranger of Digimon Adventure 02, although I guess that would technically be Kari? For those who aren't into Power Rangers, 6th Ranger doesn't necessarily mean the 6th member, just the auxiliary ranger who joins the team. Your Tommies, your Jason Lee Scotts in Zeo, or in this case, Matt and TK's dad. Yes, it has been memed that he is the 6th Ranger of Digimon Adventure, especially towards the end game. He helps a lot. He is like the most prominent parent, I'd say, outside of maybe Ty's mum. But even she is prominent, but as a kind of a comedic character and doesn't actually know a lot of what is going on, especially in our war game. Matt's dad, not so much. He helps a lot. And I've been thinking really hard about his partner, and I haven't fully settled. So if you disagree with what I've said, I definitely am not firmly attached to this. Maybe put other suggestions for who his partner could be in the comments. But I think it would actually be really cool if Yamato's dad got a Psychmon. It's a Gabumon variant, and I think that would be more interesting than him getting like another random wolf Digimon or a completely different Digimon. You could also equally give him a Tsukaimon, and I think that would tie him back into TK a little bit. But either way, I think one of those variants would work very well for him. Like I say, getting a Digimon partner doesn't legitimize a character. Someone isn't made better just because they have a Digimon partner, but it's just that I'd like to see them interact with their own Digimon and understand what that means. So give Matt's dad a Psychmon. Or something. And then speaking of old timers, the monster makers. So I've hummed and hawed about this one. This was one that I almost didn't include on the list, but I think there is a pretty compelling reason why I've included them, and I think you might agree with me. So there are 7 monster makers, and I find this really interesting. In the Digimon Tamers prequel book, technically manga because there's one image in there, illustrated short novel, Digimon Tamers 1984, Dolphin, Rob McCoy's son Keith, is seen drawing a lot of adventure Digimon, Greymon, Angemon, Devimon, and so on. So while the Wild Bunch or the Monster Makers are kind of scattered to the wind and have to come together, partially the ones that are still around, I still think there could have been a really cool moment at some point in the timeline where all 7 of them get the original Digimon adventure partners, minus Gatomon. It would have been a really cool nod. Konaka liked folding in a lot of ideas that Adventure and 02 set up, but doing very different things with them. I think it would have been the ultimate tip of the cap to have one fight where the Wild Bunch get Digimon partners, each getting a D-Arc, the colour of the original Digidestined's colours, you know, red for courage, blue for friendship, etc., and each getting that matching partner. Maybe it's something for like an audio drama or a manga and not the series itself, or just kind of a fun what if, but I just think it's interesting that there's 7 monster makers and 7 original Digimon. Our penultimate human who I firmly believe deserves a Digimon partner is Yamaki from Digimon Tamers. Yeah, this one seems like it was really obvious, right? Yamaki has this huge hunt for Digimon, he's using Hypnos to defend the world against Digimon, going from bad guy to good guy to bad guy to good guy. He's doing what he thinks is right at any rate. And I legitimately thought through my whole time through Tamers that it wouldn't be Ian Makoto who got Impmon as a partner, but Yamaki. I think that would have made a lot of sense, right? Yamaki finally truly understanding Digimon when he gets his own partner, seeing them as more than just wild ones, monsters and data, but friends, truly. I don't know, I just think it would have been neat. And then finally, the last human who I think deserves a Digimon partner, or two Digimon partners, is Rei Cyber from the v-tamer manga. Rei is a huge driving force. She is the motivation not just for Neo, but also Taichi and of course Hideto. So while she herself wasn't necessarily into the Digimon V-pets, she was around Neo and Hideto, who definitely very much were. And there are even Digimon in v-tamer who it really seems like should have been her partners, those being the impmon, Pal and Pull. They work for Neo / the whole evil organization, but ostensibly just help Rei out. And she is depicted quite often in official art with those two. So you could say unofficially they are her Digimon partners, but I still think it would have been cool to see her get the Digivice 01 on her wrist and command Pal and Pull. Maybe they could progress to something huge like Myotismon or something, I don't know. I'd say Bielstarmon, but I'm pretty sure she didn't exist back when v-tamer came out. So Rei Cyber, someone who goes through a huge arc in v-tamer, is integral to that plot. I just wish she'd have got Digimon of her own before they return to the real world, or maybe after. Anyway, that's my list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there other humans you think deserve Digimon in the Digimon franchise? I am sure there are plenty I have missed, especially in video games and other manga. Let me know in the comments down below. As I say, please do like, subscribe and ring the bell, it helps immensely. And let's thank some channel members. My Digi-Destined level channel members: Triple D, Knight 12, Andrew Sobel, Sad Uncle Callum, Tippy, Crimson Dragon Slayer and Anthony Bontomasi. Thank you so much, Digi-Destined. Your support again means the absolute world to me. You are killing it, thank you. My Tamer level channel members: NQG420, Lucky Geordie, Nagel, Emily, John Hawkins, Mike McNulty, Theo Navarro and Reese Williams. Thank you, Tamers. And to everyone in the Karn Club, I hope you're having a wonderful day and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.